Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a special guest with me. I remember in one of my first videos I had made here, I was doing a health haul video and I was drinking a kombucha and I was saying how shocked I was that I found kombucha on the island. And then at work, someone told me that there was a girl who made kombucha on the island. And well, here she is. I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Tonya Jackson, also known as Vegan Island Girl on different social media platforms, and yes, I make kombucha.
Yeah, so I'll put her Instagram here and down below, as well as Kombucha Caribbean.
Yes, Kombucha Caribbean is the name of the kombucha business. I forgot to mention that.
So she's the founder. She makes the kombucha here on the island, and I was just amazed because I didn't think it would be popular on the island, and apparently it is. Like, people really enjoy it, and it's always selling out on the shelves too. It's also very expensive here. So a bottle would be about, what is it, like $20
or $21.
EC, which is about $10 Canadian, and back home I could get them for like $3.99 Canadian, so almost half the price. And a good thing about Kombucha Caribbean is it's also half the price than the stores.
Yeah.
And it's better flavor. I'd rather support like a local business than a big business in the grocery store. So that's why when I found her, I was like, this is amazing. And it's actually really good too. It's one of my favorites, and I've already gone through 3 of them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to replenish soon.
Yeah.
First, I just wanted to, because kombucha is kind of, I feel like it's a fad right now, and not everybody knows what it is. They just kind of drink it to be cool, but they don't actually know the benefits or what it's doing for you.
And it's interesting that it's a fad now because it's like 2,000 years old, or even more than 2,000 years old. Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
So yeah, so it's like, it's something that's pretty, you know, it's ancient. However, it's only maybe within the last few years it came over to the western side of the world. So yeah, everyone is onto this kombucha kick,
and I love it. At first, I'll be honest, about 3 years ago when I first tried kombucha, it was at work. A girl named Alex, a really good friend of mine, she let me try it, and I smelled it, and the smell was just turned me off instantly. I'm like, how can you drink this? This is disgusting. But then after a while, she kept letting me try it over and over, and different flavors and different brands, and it kind of became like addictive. I was like, I really love this now. And then she told me the benefits, and I just started drinking it nonstop, and I feel myself drinking maybe 3-4 times a week now.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, what is kombucha? And kombucha is basically fermented tea. So you will take either black tea or green tea, or maybe a mix of both. Also, you'll have some sugar and also a scoby. You will let it ferment for a few days, and after it's finished fermenting, then you have kombucha. After the first ferment, you could drink it as is, or you could add flavors to it if you want, which is in the second ferment, and I think we'll talk more about that later. So that's basically what it is, and a lot of the benefits include increased energy. Also, it aids in digestion. It's a probiotic, so it's good for your gut health, and it overall just makes you feel good. Like, I find that every time I drink a glass or even half a glass of kombucha, like, my whole body just feels different, and you just feel good. So that's basically the benefits. 100%.
When I first started drinking kombucha, I noticed kind of like a weird sensation, like a feeling, like a tingling feeling in my body. Not like a high or buzz or anything like that. I just felt good. My whole body had energy. So that's what kind of made it addictive to me. I just really liked how when I ate a big meal or something and I felt really bloated, I would drink it and it would just kind of ease my stomach. So it would help me digest. I also like that it has the probiotics, like you mentioned, because I do take probiotic pills, but this is also another way to get probiotics into my body, which are basically good bacteria, right? So we have good and bad bacteria, and we need good bacteria in our body. So that's another way for us to get it in. Also, I feel like it's a community now. Like, there's a little kombucha community. Everyone likes to try different flavors and share it, try different brands. Like,
so many different brands.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's a lot of fun. When I go to a new store, I search for new kombucha brands and flavors.
Same thing. Like, even in the same brand, like, if there's a flavor that comes out that I've never tried, I'm gonna buy it.
Exactly.
So
even at work, like I said, my friend Alex, we would bring bottles in for each other, like, oh, do you want to try some? And we'd have little wine glasses and pour each other some and like, oh, cheers.
Yeah, I thought I was the one who drank it out of a wine glass.
I feel like we all do that. I feel like we all do it. So yeah, we touched on the ingredients of kombucha, but I wanted to go more in depth on the scoby. So can you tell us what the scoby is?
Okay, so the scoby, well, scoby stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And I brought a...
I've never seen one in person before, so I'm kind of like like really nervous.
Okay, so this is basically what the scoby is. It's literally a kombucha culture. It's a yeast, and this is what converts the tea into kombucha.
Okay.
This is what it looks like. It's kind of slimy. I'm not gonna take it out the bag because it's gonna get wet and everything. But it's, you know, it's pretty. It's a slobby, you know, blob that you add to the tea, and it's an active. It's actually alive.
Okay.
So when you add it to the tea, you know, it's a yeast, and it just basically does its conversion, and also it actually forms another layer of a scoby at the top of it. So every time you brew a batch of kombucha, you get a new scoby.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's basically what.
Do you give away scobies? Like,
yeah, I could give it away. I mean, I have so many. I just give it away if anyone wants one to make their own batch of kombucha. You could. I've heard you could use it as a compost. I've heard that you could eat it. Like, you could put it in the oven and make it into like scoby chips. I've heard all these things. I've never done it.
I draw the line at kale chips. So I'm just gonna keep it
so you could do anything with it. But yeah, I've heard composting. You could like put it on your plants and it.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is one of her bottles actually, so it says Kombucha Caribbean on it. I actually really love your logo.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, you see a little bit of like, is that part of the scoby at the bottom there?
Oh yeah, like every time, like it's a living organism. So even when it's bottled, whether or not you buy a bottle out of the store or whatever, you will see bits of kombucha culture in the bottle of kombucha. So
sometimes I drink it, not gonna lie, and one gets like stuck in my teeth or something.
Yeah, you can eat it.
Yeah, but it's fine. It doesn't taste disgusting or anything.
It doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah. Because we just touched on your logo here, I just wanted to say, like, how did you come up with that logo, or who came up with it?
Okay, so there's this guy, I call him Calico, and he does logos and like graphic design and all that kind of thing, and he's great. I just told him, look, he didn't even know what kombucha was.
Really? And I said, tell him?
Yeah, I told him what it was, and I said, look, I just want something circular. I want something that reflects me, because he has done stuff for me in the past. And he just did it. He gave me like 2 different options, and I picked this one. I was like, it's perfect.
So here it is up close, Kombucha Caribbean. All right, so let's get into how you make it. If you're interested in making it, or you're just curious as to how it's made, we have a professional here, so I'm gonna let her describe how we make kombucha.
Okay, so first of all, you're gonna make your tea. And as I said earlier, you could use either black tea, green tea, or a mix of both. And personally, I would use a mix depending on what flavor I'm making. So right here we have a small batch of kombucha. Usually I would fill it up to the gallon. So I brew in gallon jars. I like small batches. So you do a gallon of sweet tea, sugar, and then what you do is actually you use like a plastic spoon, you stir it, and you would check the pH. Okay. Now the reason why you check the pH is to make sure that the scoby doesn't die. Right?
So how could it die if it gets
if it's too hot, if the conditions aren't acidic enough. The reason why we test the pH is for the scoby. So basically when you test the pH, and you could use litmus paper, I use the digital, and once it's 4.0 and below, it's good. Right?
And if it goes higher, it's dead? Or
if it's no, you have to add more like starter tea, which will make it more acidic. But the scoby thrives in an acidic environment. Right? So I already tested the pH of this. This is fine. So you just drop the scoby in, and when you drop the scoby in, it could either float or sink. Whether or not it floats or sinks, it's fine. And if you could, is it floating or sinking?
Yeah, it's floating.
Yeah, it's floating. Okay. So then after that, you will cover it over with like cloth, and the reason why is because it needs air to breathe since it's alive. Right?
So you don't want to like smother it.
You will suffocate it.
Put a cover on it.
So I just put the rubber band over it. It's snug, and you keep it in a dark area that's undisturbed. You don't move it around. You just leave it for a few days, and in a few days what you would do is you would see a new scoby has grown at the top, and then you will test the pH again. It will drop. Like once it's fermenting, the pH will drop.
That's normal?
Yeah, that is supposed to happen. So then you will taste test it. Now a lot of people think that the kombucha is done when it reaches a certain pH, and that's not true. You have to trust your taste buds. So when you taste it, once it tastes perfect and the reading is appropriate, then it's time to be bottled.
And how long does this all take usually? Like, I don't want to give your secret recipe or time frames, but just how long, like an approximate?
Like I would say 7 to 10 days. Okay. Some people would even make it brew for 14 days, but I find that me personally, it's 10 days is fine. Usually it's at a good pH and a good taste for it to reach the second ferment, which is what we do here.
Before we go into that, I heard the longer you do it, it has more of like a vinegary taste, right?
Yeah, because it will just keep fermenting onto this vinegary, and that's why I talk about how the taste aspect of it, because once you know the amount of days and the taste that you prefer, because it's also preference. Some people like it vinegary. Yeah. I personally don't like it too vinegary, so I would wait until it's at a taste that I like, and then I will go to the second ferment. And
that's something, like you said, it is preference, and to me, I like trying different flavors and brands, and you can tell when you try different, they're not all the same. They don't taste the same whatsoever. So some you'll find are more sweet, some are more vinegary, and personally, I like a little mix of in between. I like it like vinegary and sweet. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's go into the second fermentation.
Okay, so the second fermentation is where you could add whatever flavors you want. Now, this is called, this is an airtight bottle. It's called a Grolsch bottle or something.
Grolsch?
Yeah, something like that. But this is what a lot of home brewers use. And what you would do is you would either add the fruit. You could puree the fruit, you could chop the fruit. I actually like to make the fruit juice with a juicer because I find that it absorbs the flavor a lot better when you juice it. So you add the juice, and then you add the kombucha, and then you seal it tight. Because what this does, it creates carbonation, the fizziness. Yeah. Okay? So you will put it into the second fermentation bottle, and you would wait about 2 to 3 days, and then you open it. Now, depending on the flavor, for instance, pineapple sometimes creates an explosion.
Oh, for sure.
So you will, make sure you either open it outside or you open it like in the sink or something, just to be safe, especially if you're just starting out. Yeah. You open it and you pour it. Now, what I would do sometimes is once the 2 to 3 day mark is done, I would just put it in the fridge so it's like cold, and then I'll open it, and basically that's your kombucha. Yeah. And this is the tamarind flavor that I bottled just like this morning. So.
Nice. I haven't tried that flavor yet. Yeah. I have tried your watermelon. That was my favorite, I think. The watermelon.
Yeah, I love the watermelon too.
It was delicious, and I think I had apple. That one was really good. And they were actually all really good.
Yeah. And this one is a new flavor that I started, the mango. Okay. That's really, really good.
Really nice.
So, yeah.
That must be fun too, to like try your own flavors and experiment. Like it becomes fun for you, right?
Yeah, and it's all trial and error, because when I first started, I got some serious
disgusting things.
I got some fails. One fail I have not gotten is mold in my kombucha. That's a common fail, but luckily I haven't gotten that. Yeah.
That was another one of my questions, like because it is live and it can mold and it is bacteria. So how do you not make that happen?
Well, you have to do a lot of research. You have to make sure that your pH is good, make sure your scoby is good. Once your scoby looks healthy, your kombucha is healthy. That's like a rule of thumb.
Okay, what would a not healthy scoby look like?
A not healthy scoby would have maybe green patches on it, black patches.
So mold, it looks moldy?
Yeah, it looks moldy, or it just doesn't look cute, like
healthy.
It doesn't look healthy.
It looks
this
cute.
one is healthy. I'm very proud of my scobies. They all look really nice. So yeah, like the whole mold thing, that's why pH is so important, because if the pH is too high, it will grow mold for sure. And once you grow mold in your kombucha, you have to throw the whole thing out. There's no saving it. Yeah. So.
And you're right, there is a lot of carbonation in it, because if you're a brand new kombucha goer, do not shake your kombucha.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Even if they have the bits in it, don't shake it. Just like maybe lightly tip it, but don't shake it, or else look. See,
exactly. It's starting to mix and fuzz. Yeah. They usually all say it on the bottle, like do not shake. Yeah, exactly. It says, I forget which brand it is, but one of them says like turn it upside down, then turn it around.
Oh yeah,
like,
slowly. Which brand is that?
I forget, but it's like do a little dance with it, like makes you go in circles, but never like physically shake it, or else as soon as you open it, it's going to explode. And that has happened to me. I brought it to I sneak it in my purse for the movies because I want to have like a healthy drink during the movie, and sometimes it explodes during the movie, and it smells like vinegar for the entire movie.
That's the worst. Yeah, like my biggest explosion was when I opened it in my brother's room, and it literally shot up into the ceiling like a volcano, all in the roof, all in the walls, everything. And my parents didn't even know this.
So how did you, vegan island girl, get into kombucha? Where did you find it and how did you become interested in it?
Okay, so I met this girl in a bar night and we were just talking about healthy eating and all that kind of stuff, and she's from LA, and she asked me if I ever tried kombucha, and I was like, kombucha, what is that? And she's like, oh, you should do your research. She didn't really tell me exactly what it was, but she said, you know, you should do your research, I think you'll like it, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, where can I buy it here? And she told me where I could buy it. So I went into the store, I bought it, I tasted it, and I really, well, as she said, the first time I smelled it, I was like, okay, what is that?
Yeah.
And then I tasted it, I'm like, okay, this tastes really good, and I like the way it made me feel, but it was very pricey.
Yeah.
So I still bought it anyway. And then I was like, okay, I'm buying this too often, I'm spending so much money, I need to make it myself. So I, you know, started making it myself. And I remember going on TV to talk about kombucha and vegan stuff.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went like last year. And I had some kombucha with me, like basically in these bottles. And they're like, oh, do you sell kombucha? And I said, no, I don't sell it. This is for me. So then I was like, okay, maybe I should sell it.
It's like a light bulb.
Yeah,
like,
maybe I should sell it because, you know, I always used to tell people about it. And I used to be like, oh, you could go here to buy it. But then I found that when I started making it, I'm like, I really like my kombucha.
Your flavor.
I like my flavor. I like the way in which I do it, and also my kombucha is 100% natural, naturally carbonated. There's no added CO2 or anything in it like that. There's nothing artificial, nothing like that. So I want people to taste real, you know, real authentic kombucha, because I mean there are a lot of store-bought brands that are very authentic, but then there are others that are not. So, you know, I wanted to spread the real thing.
You can tell it's raw, like when you
it's completely raw.
Yeah, when you taste yours, you can tell it's 100% natural, and it just feels like earthy and like fresh fruits. Like you could tell it's real and raw. How long have you been doing this now?
Yeah, well, from my actual product, you'd think it would be like years, but I've been doing it for about a year.
A year, and honestly, it tastes like I'm buying like an actual like known brand, you know. When I'm tasting it, it tastes better than some of them that I have tasted. Like have you ever tried Rise?
No, I want to try it.
Rise, I really like Rise, but I find yours is better than Rise. So I was like, and that was one of my favorite brands. So yeah, it's fun to try new flavors, and when I find one that I really like, especially one that's like local and cheap, it's like amazing. Yeah, that's cool. A year.
Yeah, a year. I've been making it a year, but I've been selling it only like for a few months.
Okay.
But what I did, I started just having people like just try it, just to, you know, try this. What do you think, or whatever? And then people just started coming and say, oh, can I get 12 bottles of kombucha? And I'm like, I don't have to. So then, you know, I started, you know, selling more and more. So yeah.
I mean, that's where all businesses start, though, right? Small, and as you grow an audience, not an audience. What is the word?
Customer base.
Yeah, as you grow like a customer base, you'll grow bigger, and you'll have like the means to make bigger batches too. Because I do know there's actually places where I'm from back home, Ganawage, they just opened a microbrewery for beer. Yeah. But then they actually have like a barrel of kombucha, and you can get it on tap.
Yeah, because it's actually brewed very similarly. Beer and kombucha, it's very, very similar.
So how do you know the alcohol percentage? Do you have like something to measure that, or?
Yes, it's called a refractometer, and I did not bring that with me.
Okay, that's fine.
But basically you just, you know, take a drop of it before and after you brew it, and you calculate the amount of the alcohol percentage.
Cool.
But basically home brew, it won't go any higher than 0.5. So
yeah, and it doesn't, like, another common thing, because my mom saw it in the fridge once, and she noticed that there was an alcohol percentage on it, so it kind of like scared her. Yeah. Okay. Because normally on like the GT bottle, I think it says
small traces.
It says like 0.5%, literally like the smallest percent. So she was like, there's alcohol in the fridge, like what is this? Can you get drunk off of this? Like what's in our fridge? And I had to explain to her what kombucha is, and she tried it, she hates it. But I mean, I feel like you really have to have a palate for it. It's like, it's an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste,
So you might like the benefits, you might really want to love it, but you just might not like it in general. So my mom just didn't like it. But yeah, I had to explain to her that it's not alcohol. And I did notice a lot of frequently asked questions on the internet is, does it make you drunk? So
you'd have to drink like, I don't know,
20 bottles?
Yeah, bottles of kombucha. Yeah. The thing is, like, you do get a feeling, but it's not drunk. Yeah. It's just like high energy, I would call it, because, you know, since it's tea, there is, you know, a percentage of caffeine in it. So it does give you a lot of energy. So you can't get drunk off of kombucha. Little Lizzie Lohan, like she got pulled over and she failed a breathalyzer
because of kombucha.
She said it was kombucha, and like got GT into so much trouble.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
It happened a few years ago, but yeah, it can't get you drunk.
I had to work my way up to a full bottle. I know you said you still drink half a bottle.
Yeah,
right?
I drink half a bottle. Like usually kombucha is sold in like 16-ounce bottles, and that's enough for like 2 servings. So I'll have like half of that bottle before I do, and usually it's in the first thing in the morning or before I go to the gym. So I would have half and then have another half. I wouldn't drink a whole bottle. I'll be bouncing off of the walls for sure.
I feel like I after 3 years I kind of worked my way up to a full bottle. When I only have half, I feel like not satisfied. I need more. Yeah, so I do the entire thing, but I did start slow because some people said you might get like stomach pains, or
you could,
it might just not sit well with your body. So you definitely want to start small. You don't want to drink an entire bottle at once.
You might feel a bit like sick. So
exactly. Another question I saw online is it safe to drink every day?
Yeah, you could drink it every day. I would call it like a supplement. So I would not drink like 3 bottles a day.
Yeah,
I could say maybe a bottle a day is fine.
Exactly. So, yeah, see it as like a probiotic. If you know people who take probiotics, of course it's not as much probiotics as you're going to get in a pill, but it's just like an extra drink that you can have. But yeah,
it's not juice or water to be like chugging down. Like I know some people who like chug it, and I'm like, no, it's like it's a supplement. It does taste good. Well, to me, it does taste good, but it serves a particular function.
And like I said, most of the time, because it is expensive here especially, so I try to limit myself as to when I'm drinking it. So sometimes like when I feel really full, also it's really good for hangovers.
Yeah, you drink a bottle of it after. Yeah,
and you feel so
much better.
Yeah, so there's different uses for it, and once you find what it's good for your own body too, then you'll gauge when you can drink it. But it is safe to drink every day, because I feel myself drinking it maybe once a day or 3 times or 4 times a week, and I'm completely fine. Another question I saw online was, can you lose weight from kombucha? What are your thoughts?
I don't like to talk about things making you lose weight, only because everyone's body is different.
Yeah, 100%.
I've been drinking it and I haven't seen myself lose weight, but there are some people who've said that they've lost weight from drinking it. So I wouldn't say, like, especially when it comes to like the benefits, I will never say, oh, it will make you lose weight. What I can say is that it's good for gut bacteria. It also helps with digestion. So if you have like a digestion issue and like you're always backed up, it will help with that. So if it helps with that and you end up losing weight, then that's just a side effect. But I wouldn't just say, oh, drink kombucha and you lose weight. Yeah, it's not like a magic drink that's gonna make you shed pounds. Like I've been drinking it for a while and I'm not losing any weight, but it does help, like you said, digestion. So if you feel bloated a lot, or you feel like you're backed up or something, like it will help you. But yeah, definitely to me it doesn't, and maybe for some people it does, but losing weight is really in what you eat, your exercise, like it's a combination of things. So you can't just say kombucha is going to make you lose weight. This is another good question, because all bottles are glass. If you haven't noticed, if you've seen bottles, like even this jar that you're making it in is glass. Your bottles that you serve it in are glass. Why is that? Well, how come you can't put it in a plastic bottle? Well, I mean, you can, but it's not safe, because kombucha is acidic, it is living, and it will eat the bits of plastic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it will. Like if, for instance, you're just, going from point A to point B, like if I have made some at home, I'm just going somewhere quickly and I put it in a bottle, that's fine, like a plastic bottle. But if I'm going to keep it for a while,
like store it.
Yeah, store it, definitely glass. Kombucha does not like plastic, it does not like metal.
Okay. So why not metal too? Or
it's corrosive, right? Yeah. So plastic utensils, glass, everything. So yeah, that's important to know.
Another question I found online was, does it contain gluten, dairy, or animal products? So we already said what the ingredients are, so it's kind of self-explanatory.
So nope, and nope.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. It's complete. It's just basically juice.
It's vegan. It's completely vegan.
Yeah. Vegan island girl.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna make something that's not vegan. So
another thing, because some people put sugar in it, some people don't. You said you do put sugar in it. What kind of sugar do you use?
Well, the thing is, it needs sugar to ferment. So there's no way to make sugar-free kombucha. What you could do is you could brew it to a point where there's no sugar in there, but at that point it would be very vinegary.
Yeah.
But what I do is I flavor it with basically fresh fruit. So I will juice the fruit, or I will chop the fruit depending on what fruit I'm using. And it's not sugary because the kombucha is constantly eating the sugar. So you get like a light flavor, but it's not high in sugar content at all.
That's what, when I tried hers, it was like the perfect amount of sweetness.
Yeah.
Like the watermelon literally tasted like I was drinking out of a watermelon.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's not like an artificial watermelon flavor, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very you know, cautious about like sugar content, because you know, sugar, a lot of people are very sensitive to sugar, so I don't want to brew something that's too sweet.
So I also saw on some bottles it says it's not good for pregnant women. But I do have a friend that drank kombucha before for years, and she's pregnant, so she's continuing to drink it. So the doctor said that there's no really health risks there.
Right.
Maybe if you got pregnant and you're drinking kombucha for the first time, that might not be a good thing for you if your body's not used to it.
Right.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on pregnancy and drinking kombucha?
Well, only because it has small traces of alcohol. I just know a lot of people who are pregnant would not just want to stay away from it completely. If you know what kombucha is and you're okay with it and you've had it before, as she said, it's completely safe.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like, you know, chugging it back to back to back to back.
And of course, get your doctor's opinion.
Right.
Don't just start taking things while you're pregnant, and it might cause an issue, because that's the last thing you want.
Right.
What is like the shelf life? If you open a bottle, how long does it stay good for?
I guess it depends. My kombucha, I would say, would be good for a couple of weeks before it might start to, because the thing is, since it's living, it will taste different over time. Not worse, I wouldn't say worse, but as I said, it constantly eats the sugar. So if you drink a bottle and it's one type of sweetness and you put it in the fridge for a while, when you drink it again, it might be a little less sweet. Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say a couple of weeks.
And you want to keep it refrigerated, right?
Yes, definitely. You want to keep it refrigerated, only because, you know, it is living, and also when it's at room temperature, it continues to ferment. So it will get fizzier and fizzier and fizzier. So when you put it in the fridge, it slows down on the fermentation. So
yeah, I have noticed before where I started a full bottle and maybe I had like a little bit left in the bottle, and I left it out like outside of the fridge, and in the morning I was like, oh, let me see if it's still good, and I tasted it, and it's not the same. It kind of tastes sour. Like you said, it kept fermenting, and it just didn't taste the same as it would have like fresh from the fridge. Because this island is really small, kombucha is kind of different. How did you gain customers in Antigua?
Okay, so yeah, the island is small, kombucha is different, and it's very new. A lot of people do not know what kombucha is. So what I did was, you know, I would, you know, speak to friends and family. I would have them have samples of it to see what it tastes like. And then also social media, I use Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. And I would just, you know, tweet about kombucha. I would say what kombucha is. People would ask questions, what is it? And I will either send links, or I'll tell them, you know, what my personal opinion is on kombucha. And I've actually even just given people bottles, saying, okay, you know, just try it. I won't charge you for it, just whatever. And literally it's word of mouth. Word of mouth and social media. I have so many people, you know, constantly contacting me asking, when are when's your next batch? And blah blah blah. So
like me. Even before she gave me, I'm like, do you have any bottles for sale? Because I gotta stock up. Yeah, so that's a really good thing about social media, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this video too. Is one, I wanted to spread awareness about kombucha because I love it. Two, I really wanted to really sell her product because it's so good. To me, it's a really good product, and I'm obsessed with the flavors. So I just wanted to share it to everybody. And if you're in Antigua, I highly suggest giving her a message, a shout out on Instagram or something, to see when her next batch is, or if she has bottles available, and definitely pick one up. So like I said, if you're in Antigua, give her a shout out if you want to try her kombucha. You can also go to Epicurean. They have, which brands is it? GTs? They have Health Aid. They have Health Aid. Or you can go to, like she said, Costpro. They have GTs there, and they had a lot of good flavors there. I noticed that they had like a very good variety. So if she doesn't have a batch ready, you can go there. But if she has one, I highly suggest getting one from her before you go there. Also, like I said, the price difference, it's just better, and also to support a local business, why not? If you're watching and you're from Montreal or Ganawage, I highly suggest going to pretty much any grocery store. They have GTs, they have Rise, they also have, if you've ever been to Whole Foods, you said you lived in New York, right?
Whole Foods, yeah, they have everything.
Whole Foods, if you've been to like a liquor store and you see a wall full of beer, Whole Foods has a wall full of kombucha. And it's just like, you walk in and it's like, oh, it's amazing because they have every flavor, every brand. And it's just, I remember when I went there, I was just like, well, I'll take you, I'll take you, I'll take you. I was taking like one of everything, and I really wanted to try all of them. Or if you're from Ganawage, there is a girl who makes kombucha too in Ganawage. Her name's Leora, so I suggest reaching out to her on Instagram. I'll leave hers down below. Like I said, it's a kombucha community. Just trying different flavors and brands. It's kind of fun. It gets fun after a while.
The community is huge.
It is. It's growing.
Yeah.
At first I was like, this is like a hipster thing. It's not cool. Like, what is kombucha? But no, once you learn the benefits and you try the flavors and you see what it does to your body, you're like, okay, you're really in on it and you're sold. So don't think of it as a fad. Try it, and if you like it, I'm telling you, we're gonna sell it on you because it's really good. So we do have a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to do a little giveaway on my channel. So we're gonna collab, do this giveaway together, and someone is gonna win a free bottle of kombucha. So if you're from Antigua and you wanna try Kombucha Caribbean, leave a comment down below and write down what flavor you're interested in trying or what brand you're interested or anything related to kombucha. Write it down below and make sure you're subscribed to my channel as well if you want. Another thing I'll be checking is if you're subscribed to Kombucha Caribbean's Instagram and Vegan Island Girl as well on Instagram. So I'll put all the details for the giveaway in the description box. But yeah, if you definitely want to try her kombucha and you're from Antigua, leave a comment down below and I'll be choosing a winner for my next video. That wraps everything up. Thank you so much for coming onto my channel.
Sure. Anything for kombucha.
Yeah.
Sure.
As you can see, her shirt says Kombucha Queen. Yeah. And I'm like really jealous. I really wish I had one of those. I'm probably gonna make one. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Cool. She runs away. So she did mention the,
It's got dark. Is the lighting?
It's going good though.
Yeah, it's going good. Yeah.
You laugh about it, you know, make a bloopers at the end.
No.
I'm just like crazy tall.
Wait, is it recording?
Yep. I think so. It's good bacteria basically, right? You're just swallowing good stuff. Sorry. I'm not putting that in.
And blooper. I'm doing so terribly on this.
You're not. Because she is
I'm sorry, no, that sounds funny. How long have you been doing this?
I don't know.
It's actually not that long.
No?
Really?
Maybe about half an hour.
That's it?
Like 2 hours.
Me too.